So in this video, we will learn how to add new Stripe payment details to Airtable and Slack. Now suppose guys you are using Stripe to collect online payments from your customer, and as you receive these payments, you want to add the payment details into your Airtable database to add a new record to maintain a complete record, and you also want to update your team members on Slack that you have received a new payment from a customer. Now guys, let me tell you, you can completely automate this process. So the trigger of this automation will be getting a new payment on our Stripe account, receiving a new payment. And the action will be adding those new payment details as a new record in our Airtable database, and also sending a channel message on our Slack channel with the same payment details and customer details. Now guys, how you can set up this automation? To know this, you have to come with me to my screen.
So as you can see, here we are on Pabbly Connect's dashboard. Now to reach this dashboard, you will get a pre-sign-up link of Pabbly Connect in the description box below. By clicking on that link, you can create your own Pabbly Connect account in just 2 minutes. And after reaching to this dashboard, just click on Create Workflow and give this workflow a name. For example, I would like to name my workflow as Stripe to Airtable to Slack. Slack. And then just click on Create. Now we can see that our workflow is open over here. And in this workflow, we have 2 different windows. First one is the trigger window and second one is the action window. So triggers and actions are basically those 2 concepts, those 2 principles on which this whole automation works on, where the trigger says when this happens and the action says do this. So let's begin with our trigger window. So the idea here is, first, we have to get the details or the data of new payments which we are receiving on our Stripe account inside Pabbly Connect. Then after that, using Pabbly Connect, we are going to add those new payment details into our Airtable database as a new record. And also, we are going to send a channel message on our Slack channel so that we can update our team members regarding the same payment as well. Now let's begin. So here in Trigger window, in Choose App, search for Stripe. Select Stripe. And then in trigger event from the drop down, select the trigger event as new charge. After selecting a trigger event, Pabbly Connect gave us a webhook URL. Now we are going to use this webhook URL to connect our Stripe account with Pabbly Connect. And how you can do that? You just have to follow the help text given below over here. Just copy this webhook URL from here and go to the dashboard of your Stripe account. So right now we are just setting up this automation. That's why I have switched to the test mode of my Stripe account. Basically, you can follow the same process for your actual production account of Stripe as well. Now after reaching to a Stripe account, click on this developers option and from the left side, click on webhooks. After clicking on webhooks, click on this add endpoint button. And here guys, you will see that in this page, we have to enter the webhook details. So just select add endpoint and then here in endpoint URL, paste the same webhook URL which we have copied from Pabbly Connect. So just copy this webhook URL from here and paste it over here. After this, here let's keep all other things as it is. We won't be changing anything else over here. And then click on this select event option. After clicking on select event, here you can see that there's a long list of different Stripe events. Out of which, here you just have to go to charge, and under charge, you have to just select charge.succeeded as the trigger event. Just select it and click on add event and then click on add endpoint. So in this way, we have successfully connected our Stripe account with Pabbly Connect using the webhook URL. Now after making this connection, whenever we are going to receive a new payment in our Stripe account, automatically the details of that successful payment will be sent to Pabbly Connect workflow and we can see the response over here. And guys, now what we are going to do? We are going to do the same thing. We are going to just make a test payment on a Stripe account. So let's go to Stripe, go to payment section and payment link. So here I have a payment link for one of my products. Just copy this link from here, go to a new tab and paste the same link. And this is the checkout page. So here in this checkout page, you can see I'm asking the email address, the name on card, the card details, and the country from the user while asking for the payment. And this payment is for the PHP course for beginners. And then here you can see that this is the amount. We are making the payment for 4,999 rupees. So let's enter the details of a dummy user. For example, this is the dummy email address. After this, okay, just a second. This is it. Then let's add a test card details. And then a test name. For example, dummy user. This is the name of the person. Our country or the region is India. Then just click on the subscribe button. And the payment is done. Now here we can see that just now we made a payment for a subscription on a Stripe account. So we have received a payment for a subscription on a Stripe account. And guys, here we will see that because we have connected our Stripe account with Pabbly Connect, the details of the same payment will also be received inside Pabbly Connect. So here guys, in our Pabbly Connect workflow, we can see that here we have received some response. And when we will scroll to this response, we will see these are the details of the same response, the same payment which we have just now made. So we will just scroll down and here we can see the same details of the user of the customer for the payment. So we have the name of the customer who made the payment, the user. We have the email address of the customer as well. Then here we have the event, that is a subscription has been created. Then we will scroll down and we can see the amount that for which the customer has paid the payment. So we made a payment of 4,999 rupees. But here in response guys, the amount which we have received is 4,99,900. Now this is because guys, while sending the responses, Stripe does not support the decimal value. That is why here you can see the 2 zeros after the decimal as well, but the decimal is not present over here. That's why we can see this large number over here. So what we are going to do, we are going to divide this complete amount by 100 in this workflow so that we can get the accurate amount of payment. But guys, in this response, you will see we have the details of the customer and the payment, but we don't have the details of the product, that what product the customer has ordered. So basically in the next step, we have to retrieve the details of the product which was ordered. So in this response, you can see there's a response named as data object payment intent. And in front of that, we have a payment intent ID. So using this payment intent ID, we are going to retrieve the details of the product for which customer has made the payment. How you can do that? Just scroll down, come to our action window, and in choose app, once again search for Stripe. After this, an action event from the drop down, we have to select the action event as retrieve a payment intent. Select it, click on connect, and select add new connection. Now at this step, once again we have to connect our Stripe account with Pabbly Connect. And this type we have to enter the API token of our Stripe account. Now how you can get the API token? Just go to your Stripe account, go to developers section, and from the left side, click on API key. After clicking on API key, just click on this reveal test key over here in front of secret key. And then copy this test key from here, the secret key from here, go to Pabbly Connect and paste it over here. Okay, just a second, let's copy it once again. Click to copy, just copy it and paste it over here. And then just click on save. And now we will see that our Stripe account once again gets connected with Pabbly Connect. After making this connection, the only thing it asks us is the payment intent ID. That what is the ID of the payment intent whose details we want to retrieve. So here in this response of Stripe, we have the payment intent ID. And we are going to map this same response of payment intent ID of a new payment which we have received from Stripe over here in this field. And guys, the process of mapping is very simple. Simply click on this field and in the drop down below, you can see all the responses which you have received from Stripe can be seen over here. Just scroll down to these responses and select the response of payment intent. And after mapping the payment intent ID, just click on save and send test request. After clicking on save and send test request, here you can see that the details of this payment is once again retrieved. So we have the same amount for which we have received the payment. Then we will scroll down, we have the name of the customer, the email address of the customer, which they have entered while making the payment. We have the event of the description of the event. And now when we will scroll down, we will see the name of the product, the name of the subscription for which we have received this payment. So we will scroll down. And yes, here you can see that PHP course for beginners, the same product for which we made the payment on our Stripe account, we have received the details of the same product, the name of the same product over here as well. So in this way, you have to retrieve the name of the product. Now guys, let's move to the next step. And in the next step, we have to basically correct the amount for which we have received the payment. So we have to divide this number by 100. Now to do so, we are going to use a feature, a module of Pabbly Connect that is called number formatter. Click on this add action step button. And here in choose app, search for number formatter. After this, an action event from the drop down, select action event as perform math operation and click on connect. Then the first thing it asks us is the numbers, that what are the numbers on which we want to perform the math operation. So first we have to map the response of amount which we have received. So just click here. And from the Stripe responses in the drop down below, you can see all the responses. From these responses, select the response of amount of payment, data object amount, select and map it. After this, just add a comma and add 100 because we want to divide this number by 100. And then here in operations guys, from the drop down below, select divide and click on save and send test request. And that is it guys. Here we have successfully corrected the amount for which the customer has made the payment. So we made the payment for 4,999 rupees and we have the exact same amount over here. So here we have corrected the details of the amount as well. Now let's move to the next step, and in the next step we want to add all of these new payment details into our Airtable database. So scroll down, click on this add action step button, and here in choose app search for Airtable. Select Airtable. Then in action event from the drop down, select the action event as create record. Click on connect and then select add new connection. Now we have to connect our Airtable account with Pabbly Connect. And to make this connection, we have to enter the API token of our Airtable account. How you can get the API token on Airtable? Just go to your Airtable account and on the right side, click on this profile option and click on account. After clicking on accounts page, just scroll down and here you can see the API key, the API token of your Airtable account. Just copy it from here, go to Pabbly Connect and paste it over here and click on save. And after clicking on save, here you can see that your Airtable account will get connected with Pabbly Connect. And the connection is done. So this is my Airtable account connected with Pabbly Connect. And here guys, the first thing it asks us after the connection is the base ID. So in the drop down below, you can see a list of all the bases which you have created in your Airtable account can be seen over here. So the base in which we are going to add all of these payment details is named as sales. So I have created this Airtable base in my Airtable account. So here in Pabbly Connect from the drop down, we are going to select sales as the base ID. After selecting the base, next thing it asks us is the table ID. So here guys, in this Airtable base, I have created a table named as Stripe payments. And in this table, I have created some field for the details of the payment. So here guys, you are in the drop down below, you can see the same table, just select it. And you can see all of those same fields over here in Pabbly Connect. So one by one, we have to map the details which we have received from Stripe of a new payment in these fields. So let's start with payment ID. So let's click on map the payment ID, just click here. And from Stripe guys, we have received a payment intent ID. So that will be the payment ID of a Stripe payment. So from the drop down below from the Stripe responses, select and map the payment intent ID. After that, it is asking us for the name. So from the drop down below, we are going to search for the name of the customer who made the payment. Then after this, let's map the email. So let's map the email. This is the response of email. Then we have to map the name of the product. So here in Stripe retrieve a payment intent action step, we have retrieved the name of the product for which we have received the payment from the customer. So the name of the subscription was PHP course for beginners. So we are going to map the same product over here. And at last, the amount. So using number formatter, we have received the correct amount and we are going to map that same amount over here as well. And after mapping all of these details, just click on save and send test request. After clicking on save and send test request, here you can see that we have received some response. And this response seems to be a positive response to us. This response shows that the data which we have mapped, basically the details of the payment which we have received from Stripe inside Pabbly Connect or the new payment which we have received on our Stripe account is been added into our Airtable database as a new record. So let's check it. We will go to Airtable. And yes guys, here you can see that the details of the same payment which we have just now made on our Stripe account is been added in our Airtable database. We have the payment ID, the name of the customer, email address, the product for which we received the payment, and also the amount. Now this means the automation is working perfectly fine till this step. And at last guys, after adding this payment details to Airtable, we also want to send a message on our Slack channel to update our team members. To do this guys, just click on this add action step button for one last time. And here in action window, search for Slack. Select Slack over here. And then in action event from the drop down, select send channel message. Click on connect and select add new connection. Now here guys, we have to connect our Slack account with Pabbly Connect. And to make this connection, click on this connect with Slack button And we have two different types of connection with Slack. First one is a user-based connection and second one is the bot-based connection. So there is a difference between both of the connection, and by clicking on this hyperlink, you will get to know the difference. Right now, I'm just creating a bot-based connection. So I'm entering bot over here in token type and click on save. Now after this guys, because I have already logged into my Slack account in my browser, Pabbly Connect has detected the same account. So we will just scroll down and click on allow. And now we can see that our Slack account gets connected with Pabbly Connect. After successfully connecting our Slack account, the first thing it asks us is the channel. That on what channel of our Slack account we want to send the messages. So here in my Slack account, I have created a channel named as Stripe Sales. And I want to enter or I want to send all the details of the new payment from my Stripe account on this particular channel. So from the drop down below, select the name of the channel on which you want to send the message. Then after this, the next thing it asks us is the message. So what will be the message which you want to send? So I want my message to be, okay, so this is the message, the kind of message which I want to send. Hello team, we have received a new sale on Stripe. Then I want to mention the name of the customer who purchased our product. I want to mention the email address of the customer, the name of the product which they have purchased, and also the amount of the payment. Now, one by one from the Stripe responses, we have to map these details. So from the drop down below, search for the response of the name of the customer and map it. And in the next field, let's map the email address once again. And we are going to use the same process of mapping once again over here as well, like we have done in our Airtable step. Now let's map the name of the product. So just scroll down and here we have to select the response of the name of the product. So just search for it. And this is it. Just map it. Then we have to map the amount as well. So from number formatter, we have received the correct amount. Just map that amount as well. So I would like to enter or mention the name of the currency in front of this. So let's click here and then slash. And after creating the message of your choice with the details of the new payment which we have received from Stripe, the next thing it asks us is the image URL and image alt text. So if you want, you can also send some kind of images on your Slack channel. Right now in this video, in this automation, we don't want to send any kind of images. So we are just going to ignore this field. And then if you are using a bot-based connection, you can also give your bot a name. For example, I would like to name my bot as Stripe. So by a bot named as Stripe, the message will be sent on our Slack channel. Also, if you want, you can customize the icon of that bot who is going to share the message as well. You just have to enter the URL of an image which you want to set as the icon in this bot icon section. And with the bot name, with the same name and same icon, a new message will be sent with all the payment details of Stripe on our Slack channel. After this, here you can see some other settings, other options for your sending the message. So if you want, you can make the changes over here as well. And at last, just click on this Save and Send Test Request button. After clicking on Save and Send Test Request, here you can see that we have received some response. And this response seems to be a positive response to us. This response shows that the message which we have created over here of a new Stripe payment details is been sent on our Stripe channel. So let's check it. We'll go to a Slack account. And yes guys, here you can see that we have a message which says, hello team, we have received a new sale on Stripe. Customer name, dummy user, customer email, the product for which the customer has made the payment, and also the amount. Now this means guys, the automation workflow which we have created in this video is working perfectly fine. Now every time we are going to receive a new payment on our Stripe account, the details of that payment will be automatically added in our Airtable database as a new record, and also we are going to send a channel message on our Slack channel so that we can update our team members automatically for the same payment. Now guys, after setting up this automation, let's test this automation in real time. What we are going to do, we are going to make another payment, and this time we are going to change the details of the customer. Copy the payment link, paste it over here. And after that, here we are going to enter the details of a new user. For example, this is the email address of the new customer and click on subscribe. So again, we made a payment on our Stripe account for a subscription. And as this payment is made, we will see instantly the details of this payment will be added on our Airtable account. And also we are going to receive a message on our Slack channel with the same payment details. So let's check it guys. First, we'll go to our Airtable database. And yes guys, here you can see that in Airtable, we have the details of the same customer who just made the payment. We have the payment ID, the name of the customer, the email address, the product for which the customer made the payment, and also the account. And then we will also see that the details of this payment are now also sent on our Slack channel as a new message. This message says, "Hello team, we have received a new sale on Stripe. Name of the customer, test user, the same email address from which we made the payment, the product name and the amount." Now this means guys, we have tested this automation in real time and this automation is working perfectly fine. So not just these applications guys, you can connect plenty of other applications using Pabbly Connect. And guys, one more important thing. You will find the clone link of the same workflow in the description box below. By clicking on that link, you can clone the same workflow into your own Pabbly Connect account and use this workflow for free. Also, let me tell you, Pabbly Connect offers you a forever free plan. And in this plan, you will get some free tasks every month into your own Pabbly Connect account. So if you want to try and test this automation, you can do it for absolutely free.
If you have any kind of doubts or queries, you can post them on forum.pabbly.com. So if this video was helpful to you, you can obviously like this video, comment down your suggestions, and don't forget to share it with others. So guys, that's it for today's video. Thank you. Have a great day.